I used to get really anxious when it would snow like this. I would obsessively check the weather again and again and again to see what was coming and when it was going to end. I would constantly check for signs that the snowplows were out and assurance that they were going to come and clear us out and that I would be able to get my driveway cleared and my cars ready to go. I would get hyper fixated on how I felt. Every thought, every sensation, every bit of agitation and anxiety was really loud. Snow like this is a nuisance for most people, but for you, it probably feels like a threat. It used to feel that way to me. You may feel trapped or isolated, separated from the help that you might need medically or in some sort of rescue situation. And you may find yourself very agitated, anxious, and feeling vulnerable. This probably gets triggered the minute you know weather like this is coming and lasts until you know that you can get back out. Now, you might think it's the snow or the rain or the bad weather that you're afraid of, but you're really not. This is a trap. So if you give me 10 or 12 minutes today, I will dismantle the anxiety bad weather trap and give you a strategy that might help you make things just a little bit better. So let's get to it. Ooh, it's cold out there. I am calling this the bad weather trap, anxiety and the bad weather trap. Why am I using the word trap? Well, I'll tell you. It is not the snow or the rain or the lightning or the power outage or the roads that you can't drive on or the bridge that may wash out. It's none of those things. You think that that is what you are afraid of. Anxious people will say the snow makes my anxiety go through the roof. I'm so afraid of that. But really, it's not the actual weather. It's not the forecast. In my case, there's a lot of snow on the ground here on Long Island today. It was never the snow, although I would wind up in a highly anxious, hyper-vigilant, internally focused, very agitated, elevated state of arousal from the time that I knew that that weather was coming until the time the event was completely done, the roads were plowed, and I knew I could get back out of my house. But what is really going on there? As always, in anxiety disorders, in chronic states of anxiety that look like anxiety disorders, we become primarily concerned with how we feel. It's how you feel that becomes the problem. You wind up in that elevated, hypervigilant, agitated, internally focused, hyper-aware, anxious state during bad weather, really for two reasons that don't really have anything to do with the weather at all. The weather is the trigger, but in the end, it's the process underneath that that we care about the most. I said that there were really two things going on here that have nothing to do with the weather. What are they? The first one is the trapped feeling, the isolated feeling, the help won't be able to get to me feeling, the I won't be able to get to help feeling. For somebody who feels like they are always this close, just one step away from needing to be rescued medically, psychiatrically, or just rescued from their own anxious state, a big weather event like a blizzard or a thunderstorm or a hurricane might interrupt that. And that will put you into that state that says, this is not okay. Now I have to monitor constantly. I have to check how I'm feeling. Am I okay now? Am I panicking now? Do I feel like I'm going to go crazy now? Am I going to snap now? So while the weather is sort of raging around you, whether it's snow or rain or anything else, you may wind up in a situation where you are constantly checking and monitoring and evaluating to see if you need help. These disastrous, catastrophic what if thoughts that are driven and fueled by that constant checking and being hypervigilant in how you feel is really a reflection of the fact that you always think you need saving. So number one is bad weather events may isolate me and may prevent me from being rescued, saved, or otherwise taken care of. And I always think I'm going to need rescuing, saving, or taking care of. And when we are really talking about desensitization or recovery or whatever we want to call it, we are addressing anxiety disorders or chronic states of anxiety. We have to learn that who is going to save me, what is going to save me, who will keep me alive, what will rescue me, who will rescue me, are not questions that we ever really had to ask. Those are mistaken questions. Now, many of you listening might say, yes, but Drew, when I get really anxious or I have a panic attack, say, I have to. And then you will insert some sort of response. I have to lay on the ground. I have to do my breathing. I wind up in the fetal position. I'm crying. I'm screaming. I'm pulling my hair out. I'm pulling at my skin. I have to do these things. So who will rescue me from that? That's dangerous. I need somebody to get to me and calm me down. But the point we're always making here is that no, those things are not required. Now, I'm not telling you that you will be able to just turn off that response and decide instantaneously to just sit quietly, twiddle your thumbs, or do a crossword puzzle while you are very anxious. It's difficult to mediate that response and change it over time. But the assertion that like, no, 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 I really do need to be saved isn't really correct. And while if you're listening today, you might not really be able to believe that or wrap your head around that, at least consider the possibility that most people, or just about every person who has overcome the problem that makes you say, no, Drew, this is not correct. I really do need saving, once thought that too. You're looking at one. I would have said the same thing. This is inherently dangerous. Rescuing is needed. The weather blocks that. This is not irrational. I have a right to be terrified. Now, you actually do have a right to be terrified. No one can tell you to just stop being afraid. That's misguided. But keep in mind that one of the two processes that will make somebody say that the weather is a problem is this one. I feel like I need to be saved, and the weather may prevent that from happening. So that's number one. Keep that in mind. The second process that we really have to care about is the process by which an anxious person, somebody who's struggling with an anxiety disorder or chronic state of anxiety, especially if it's been around for a very long period of time, you may recognize that no matter what emotion you feel, no matter what challenge is thrown at you, instantaneously, whatever it is you experience will morph into fear or panic or will trigger the thing you fear the most, which is that terrible internal state. Sound familiar? Again, in my experience, that happened to me as well. I was sort of incapable of feeling regular emotions. Every big emotion would instantly become panic and fear and anxiety. And many, 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 many anxious people experience the exact same thing. In fact, one of the things we sort of look for as people get closer to recovery or desensitization, when I'm working with my therapy clients, is we are looking for the point where other emotions begin to emerge, because they will for every human being, and they stay as the other emotions. Anger is just anger. Sadness is just sadness. Being excited is being excited. For an anxious person, any sort of emotional pressure, anything that triggers a big feeling, any stressor may instantaneously quickly go from anger to boom, panic, fear, panic, sadness, panic, excitement, panic. For instance, yesterday, we knew that this was coming for several days. In fact, if you're in the United States in January of 2026, all you saw on the news for the last week was this, snowpocalypse, like winter Armageddon, all the way from Texas to Vermont. And that's all we heard about. It's coming. It's coming. It's historic. It's unprecedented. You'll never forget this storm. Heck, that's a lot of stress. Now, I'm not an anxious person anymore. I'm fully recovered, but I have things to take care of. I want to make sure that my house is okay. I don't want the power to go out. It would be really inconvenient. Who wants to be in the cold with no heat? And when it's supposed to be 10 degrees Fahrenheit with the wind chills below zero and you're getting 14 inches of snow or 18 inches of snow. So that is stress. And then instantaneously that becomes, nope, the actual stressor doesn't matter anymore. I only care that I am now feeling fear or anxiety or vulnerability. So the stressor comes from outside of you. That would be the weather or the pending weather event. But then quickly the problem just is inside you. The weather doesn't matter anymore. All I know is that something has triggered me into feeling things that I cannot feel, do not want to feel, try at all costs to not feel. I got to control this. I got to fix this. This is not okay. So that is the second underlying process that tends to get lost. We forget it. We lose touch with that. And it will make an anxious person insist that bad weather is an anxiety problem. But again, the point is, it is not the weather at all. Stress in the form of a big weather event that would stress anybody out can instantly turn into anxiety. And that means you lose track or you lose sight of the fact that there's a huge storm coming. Everyone in the neighborhood is stressed. I'm allowed to be stressed too. That's normal. It's not dangerous and I don't have to fix it. So what do we do about that? As always, I want to try and end with some practical advice. While I cannot give you step-by-step instructions on exactly what to do, I can give you general principles. One of them is awareness. Like a heightened metacognitive awareness is critical in the desensitization or recovery process. In the ACT triflex, I'm a big fan of ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy. Russ Harris talks about the triflex. The first thing is get present. So when you want to pace back and forth because you've been triggered into that hyper-vigilant state, hyper-aware, hyper-aroused, super anxious, very afraid because there's a blizzard going on or there's a big thunderstorm outside your window or whatever is going on, stop. Come back to the present moment. You are jumping ahead in the future to a future where you think you need to be rescued, saved, or otherwise calmed down by some other person and they can't get to you. What's happening in the moment right now? I'm feeling a thing I am terrified to feel, and I feel like I need to be rescued.
Come back to the present and see if you can see the feeling and the thoughts that are giving you these instructions that you think you must follow. Very important. You can also, using the stress situation, wait a minute, what's going on right now? I am stressed by this weather. I do not want to be in the dark for 2 days. I do not want all the food in my fridge to go bad. I do not want my heat to go out and it's freezing outside and we're cold in the house. This is stressing me out. And oh, that's right. For me, because I'm still working on recovery or desensitization, stress instantly turns into big anxiety, panic, and fear for me. That's what's going on right now. So if you can build that awareness, and we do that through just watching, this is where we introduce mindfulness practices in therapy and the work that I do with my clients. And this is why we use mindfulness and acceptance-based approaches like ACT or MCT or ERP that has a big mindfulness component if you do it right. We want to be able to watch that machine. What is the machine doing right now? It's creating very uncomfortable internal states. These are internal experiences that I fear so much. I hate them. And I feel like my ability to cope with them is zero. I'm going to need to be saved, or it just keeps getting triggered. And I don't know why, because I've forgotten that stress becomes anxiety for me. And this weather out there seems like a big problem for me. We always circle back to I'm feeling a thing inside of me, whether they are thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, combinations of the three, that is very scary. They are very disturbing. And I think I need to do something about that, but I don't. The problem here is that I'm afraid of my own body, my own mind, my own thoughts, my own emotions. Do I have to be? What if I let this ride? What if I don't get saved? What if I don't do the things I think I need to do? What will happen? What can I learn from that experience? We always wind up there, don't we? The wrap up here is, can I see what's actually going on here? This has nothing to do with the weather. It's just another in the very long line of things that will trigger feelings inside of me that I hate, I fear, and I try to fix and avoid to no avail. If you can get back to that point, you have a fighting chance. Simple plan, hard to execute is something I say all the time. So here we are in the winter. There's more snow for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere if you happen to live in a snow area. But regardless of what your weather fear or weather trigger might be, is it really the bad weather? That's why I say it's anxiety and the bad weather trap. So if you got something out of this video, you dig it, I would invite you to hit the like button or maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that tells YouTube that you're liking what I do here. And instead of burying me in algorithm hell, maybe they will show the video to people who could also benefit from it. I appreciate you coming by. Thanks for hanging out. I will have another episode of The Anxious Truth in 2 weeks here on YouTube. Don't know what I'm going to be talking about, but I will be here. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate you. See you next time.